here today with two really amazing friends. This is my friend Kai.
Hi.
And this is his mom, Jasmine.
Hi.
And we wanted to talk to you today about something that's very near and dear to their hearts, Tourette's syndrome, because Kai has Tourette's syndrome.
Yeah.
So, some of our friends who are watching probably don't know what Tourette's syndrome is. Do you think you can tell them what it is?
Tourette's syndrome is a neutral developmental disorder.
Neurological.
Which
Big word.
you can't control it. It's just like in your mind. It just like randomly pops up, and you don't know when it's gonna happen. But you can suppress it or cope it, which means that you can like help it like not be there when it's uninvited. So yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to add to it? That was really good.
Yeah.
There's these things called tics that they can come out of your mouth, like what you say, or they can be movements of your body, or they can be like motor.
So you're saying sometimes maybe you'll move in a way that you can't really control, or you may say something that you can't really control.
Yeah.
That must be really tough sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like we were all just talking a little bit earlier, and I was saying that if I didn't know that Kai had Tourette's, I probably wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah.
So that might be kind of good sometimes, right? When you can just kind of move forward, but that might be tough sometimes too, right?
Yeah.
When people don't really know that you have these challenges that you have to deal with. Well, thank you for explaining it. Do you have anything that you wanted to add to it?
I guess I would just say that part of Tourette's syndrome too is that you can have other disorders with it. So it's something that is known as an umbrella syndrome. So it's one big, large syndrome, and then other disorders can come along with it, which makes Tourette's syndrome really unique because one person with Tourette's syndrome has the same exact version of Tourette's syndrome.
Right.
So yeah, that makes it really unique.
Yeah.
That is very unique. So it's a bunch of things that you're kind of dealing with. Okay, well, let's talk about when you first found out that you had it.
It was in February 2018, so it hasn't even been a year yet.
Wow.
But I've felt that I've excelled a lot in a short time of period.
Yeah, that's really hasn't been very long, just about a year. So do you feel like it was really kind of freeing to kind of like understand that there was an explanation for some of the things that you were feeling and some of the things that were going on?
Yeah, I felt relieved kind of that like I wasn't just like one weird kid that was just like randomly did mean stuff and things, but I felt like that I could feel free and like be more open in my house, that I could be like that this is me and like this is who I am.
Yeah.
Now you talked a little bit about an umbrella, so that means that it's like up here they say, oh, it's Tourette's, but then underneath there can be a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about some of the twitches or some of the like the verbal things that you can do, like say something that you can't really control. But are there any other things that you wanted to talk about that maybe you have to deal with, like other diagnoses or that some of our friends might kind of identify with?
I have sensory processing disorder, which if there's a lot of loud things or a lot of crazy things going on at one time, then I just feel overwhelmed. I have anxiety disorder, which if I'm like scared about something or I'm like not sure about it, then I would be overwhelmed. I have ADHD, which makes me having a hard time focusing, get distracted a lot. And then oppositional defiance disorder. If my mom tells me to do something that I am not supposed to do, then I'll just do it anyway. And yeah.
Yeah.
That is a lot to
It's
deal
a
with.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For both of you guys to deal with.
Yeah.
So, and that's so wild. I never would have known any of this unless you had kind of reached out about it. So, well, I think that you're a super brave kid and a super brave mom. And I think that you guys are super awesome. So,
Thank you.
yeah, so thank you so much for coming and talking about it. Okay, so my next question is Tourette's something that is exactly the same every day? Like that you wake up and you're like, okay, well, this is the stuff I'm gonna have to deal with, or does it change every day?
It changes. It changes not even just like each day. It changes throughout the day sometimes too.
Oh my goodness.
So like today I woke up totally depressed. I was like just blah. And then once we went through the day, I felt more like happy and more excited.
Yeah. Some things, what do you think is the biggest, so thinking about your comorbid disorders or those like umbrella disorders, which one do you think is like the biggest impact on you daily?
Probably sensory processing disorder, or anxiety.
Yeah, so that's where every day can be different depending on what the environment is like or what the expectations are, what sensory input he has to deal with and integrate,
Yeah.
and what can make you anxious or not so anxious throughout the day.
Yeah.
So, my next question is, sometimes, like I know when I have a hard time dealing with something, and I don't have Tourette's, so it's like I know I can kind of usually handle it a little better, but sometimes there's things that I just really need to just get myself some tools to kind of cope with. Sometimes I need to just chill out or take a quiet moment, go get a cup of coffee or something like that, so I can feel better and then move forward with my day.
Yeah.
Now I bet you have a lot of coping skills and a lot of tools in your toolbox to help you out.
We do.
Yeah. So what are some things that you can do to help you manage your Tourette's syndrome?
Well, it depends what mood I'm in, but I usually am in the yellow zone, which I am excited, I am tired, I'm restless. So I would go in my sensory bin. I would I like to use a lot kinetic sand because it's just like nice and warm, and like you can form it, squeeze it. Then I like using my Rubik's Cube, which a lot of people would get annoyed on, but I like using my Rubik's Cube because I just get to like focus on it a lot, and like I just like do direct attention, and it like kind of like blocks out everything that's around me.
That's really cool. Do you have a Rubik's Cube that you carry with you all the time?
No, but I usually carry stress balls or fidget spinners in Mom's purse.
That's a good idea.
And putty
Yeah.
and headphones.
Always being prepared, right? When
Yes.
you're going out, just in case. That's a good idea.
And then what we learned, so he also went through occupational therapy to help with that kind of sensory integration and find coping skills that his body is telling him he needs. Like he needs something.
Yeah.
So we also learned that heavy work is really cool. So we have a punching bag and a treadmill, and we'll like throw the football around or do something that's more active.
Wow, yeah, that's
A lot
really
of times I just need like a full body, so like I like the punching bag because I get to just like run on it and then like tackle it down.
Oh my goodness.
And I like my weighted blanket because like it's like full body, a lot of pressure. Yeah.
And I did meet your really cute pets earlier. They have a dog and a cat. The dog's sleeping right over there, actually. And do you think they help you to calm down sometimes and help you to feel better?
Well, I like my dog because he like has some like intuition or something that when I'm screaming or yelling or something, he just like leaves me alone. Sometimes he leaves the room. When I'm like crying or something, he would come over and lick me. And when I'm like laying down in my bed and I feel like overwhelmed or stressed, or like at a certain time in the morning, he always comes in. He makes sure that I'm okay. He wakes me up, and he's like a motivation for me to have a good day.
That's wonderful.
And when I don't feel like doing all that heavy physical work with Kai, Axel does. Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. They run around together.
Yeah. Pets are awesome. I'm really glad that you've got some good ones.
And then my fish, he's really relaxing because he just like quietly swims around, just like in his tank.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I have a fish at home too. Her name's Joyce.
Mine
she
is
just-
JJ.
JJ? We both have J fishes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So if you have something that maybe you want to share with parents and kids who are watching today who don't have Tourette's syndrome or who have never heard of it before, if they see, like say you're out and you're having a tough day, what's your advice to those to the parents and the kids who are watching?
I usually like it if you're strangers. I would, even though you're curious, you can like look, but like please don't stare or like just like I like room. I like quiet, nice enclosed spaces, and don't feel scared like when I tick or something. It's just like something that's inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So try not to be scared. Give you your space.
Yeah.
Right? And try not to stare.
Yeah.
Those are good things to
Yeah.
know, because I don't know that I would necessarily know what you would feel, you know, like what would
Yeah.
make you feel worse or what would make you feel better.
Yeah.
That's really good advice. Now, there's probably some kids who are going to watch this, or grown-ups who are going to watch this, who have Tourette's.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they were just diagnosed, or maybe they've had it for a long time.
Yeah.
But how about for our friends out there who are watching, hi, who do have Tourette's, do you have any advice for them or anything that you want to say to them?
I would say that like you shouldn't try to like change like who you are and like try to be done, get away. You should like keep it and cherish it because you have it for a reason. It may be a struggle. It might be bumps in the road, but you can always turn around or go over the bumps. So yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the way that you said that.
Yeah,
That was
me
great.
too.
All right, Mama, it's your turn.
Oh, advice. Let's see. I guess for kids who have Tourette, my advice would be kind of just echoing Kai because he said really everything. Yeah, just be you and embrace it, and just really learn what your best potential is. Yeah. For parents, I think I would say don't take it personally. So I think as a parent, sometimes it's really difficult if he is ticking at me, or he has something going on with anxiety or sensory processing, and it comes out as anger or frustration, that I take it really personally. And I think the best advice is to just take a deep breath and try to figure out where it's coming from so that we can support him or our children the best, instead of kind of making it about ourselves, because it's usually not really about us.
That's really good advice,
Yeah.
too. All right, my final question today is, I've heard some people who have things that they're dealing with. Like there's this one really amazing girl who has Asperger's syndrome, and she's done some amazing things in the world. She's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And she says that it's something that some people might think of as a challenge that she has to face, but she feels like it's her superpower, because it gives her strength to kind of like go and do things that she wouldn't normally do, or that people who don't have her challenges would normally do.
Yeah.
And some of the other people that I've talked to have said that they feel like way down deep that there's some sort of superpower that they get when they get a diagnosis like that. So that's my last question for you. What's your superpower?
I like it because like you feel unique, and like whenever you have a struggle, it's it may be harder to get past, but it's more of like a celebration when you get past it.
Yeah.
And also I just can spit out rhymes like it's nothing.
Yes, that's true. One of
Really?
his-
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily a tick, but it's just the way his brain works. He will just be rhyming all day long.
Oh my gosh.
Something will just trigger it, and he'll just keep on going.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I'm
Yeah.
not going to put you on the spot, but do you think maybe another time you could rhyme with me?
Okay.
Okay, that would be really great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your story.
You're
I think that
welcome.
you are perfect and wonderful just the way you are.
Thank you.
And I feel that you're also very brave for coming out on and talking to all of our friends about all of your kind of your struggles that you go through every
Yeah.
day, and also your superpowers. And thank you too, because I know what it's like to be a mom with some challenges. So
Yes.
yeah. So you guys are fantastic. I love your family.
Thank
and thank you so much
you.
for coming and sharing with us today. All right, should we say goodbye to our friends?
Bye.
Say bye.